Jimmy Garoppolo was a direct threat to Tom Brady, as was Steve Young to Joe Montana, as was Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre.
No doubt.
Welcome to Sports Trades. My name's Lou, and I've been waiting to do this video for a while, but I'm just fed up now. Not with Tom Brady, not with Bill Belichick, but Robert Kraft, whose heart is softer than a bowl of mac and cheese, who basically gets more wet than a swimming pool anytime you mention Tom Brady. But honestly, with the success and value that he's brought to the New England Patriots, can you blame him? But at some point, you had to realize that the NFL is a business, and you have to do what's best for the team, and not to get sentimental. The New England Patriots can easily, as long as Bill Belichick is the head coach, win the division every single year. Belichick was able to draft the man that was going to take over the New England Patriots after Tom Brady was supposed to retire, but he just kept on going and going like the Energizer Bunny. When the San Francisco 49ers finally moved on from Joe Montana, he was 36 years and 10 months, but they felt confident that they had Steve Young. Well, that, and he just won the 1992 NFL MVP, so. On 4/20/1993, the Kansas City Chiefs traded a first-round selection to the San Francisco 49ers for Montana, David Whitmore, and a 1994 third-round selection. Brett Favre, 35 and a half years old, the moment the Packers decided that they wanted to move on. In the future, with Aaron Rodgers, he would retire at the age of 39, then come back, but when the Green Bay Packers finally let go of Brett Favre to the New York Jets, in return they got a third-round selection that was later used on Brandon Tate, which was later used in a trade to acquire Clay Matthews III. When the Colts finally moved on from Peyton Manning, he was approaching his age 36 season, but nobody knew what he had left after the neck surgery. And Tom Brady, who was 36 years and 9 months the moment they drafted Jimmy G. Maybe the Patriots expected him to only have 2-3 more good years and smooth sailing on to Jimmy G.
Did the Patriots screw up their future?
Look, I think the Patriots understand the value of a quarterback more than anyone in the NFL. Of all 32 teams, the Patriots understand the value of that position. Do I think they made a mistake? I think they're looking back at it now saying, yes, they did make a mistake, because I think it's hard to find a quarterback in this league. And when at some point, Tom Brady's going to get old enough to where he's not going to be the same player. At some point, maybe it's this playoff run, he may get injured or whatnot, but when you have a young quarterback in Garoppolo, that's saying something, and that's building for the future. I remember Montana and San Francisco 49ers had Montana, and then Steve Young came in to fill that role. Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers came back and filled that role. It's hard to find that transition, and when Brady's going to be finally gone, you're hoping that you have a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo to keep on continuing with the legacy that they have. But it's going to be hard for him to replace a guy like that if they don't have him in the stalls.
Mina, what say you?
I think I do that. She said my name. I do believe that they made a mistake. It's very easy now to look at the trade and say that the Niners got to steal.
I figured all the quarterback needy teams that were out there would, be interested, talk to them pretty heavily, but, Patriots, they came out of nowhere and grabbed me.
What have they told you as for, you mentioned the word expectations. Obviously, there's a Hall of Fame quarterback entrenched with the organization, but what have they told you as for what they expect of you in sort of the short, long term?
Right now they just want me to learn as fast as I can, pick up as much of we have so much catching up to do to the veterans that they just want the rookies to catch up as fast as possible, and then by that time, then you'll be able to go out there and perform the way you know how to perform. Right now, all the rookies are thinking so much. We have so much on our mind with the playbook, new place living and everything, so they're just trying to have us catch up as fast as possible.
With the 67th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, your New England and my New England Patriots select Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback, Eastern Illinois.
Wow. Talk to me, Mike. Talk to me. How about the quickest release in the draft? Eastern Illinois' Jimmy Garoppolo was trained by a guy named Billy Cunardy. Did a great job getting him ready for this. I put the first tape on, I believe it was San Diego State, and I went, wow, this kid's got a quick release, big arm, very athletic. Interesting position to get taken by the New England Patriots with a Tom Brady at his age.
And you saw on the screen, favorite player, Tom Brady.
Well, I took a lot of heat, especially from my buddy Rich Eisen prior to that draft, because I had Aaron Rodgers going 24 to Green Bay in my mock draft.
The Green Bay Packers select, and I hold my breath when I hear you say this, but go ahead and say it. The Packers select who?
At number 24, the Packers proudly step to the podium and take the successor to Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
How in the world does Aaron Rodgers drop that far?
Teams either didn't need a quarterback, didn't have cap space for a quarterback, or had head coaches whose jobs were on the line and probably didn't want a rookie quarterback.
But I would always, if I was watching film, which I watched a lot of film by myself, and I can remember on numerous occasions, hey, what you watching? Come on in. So, I wouldn't say, hey, no, that's just not me. I never felt threatened my job, although I knew that at some point I would not be the starter in Green Bay. I knew that.
Well, and that's I guess the question that some people would have. Do you think there was any hesitation on your end to be closer because you knew this was a guy that was brought in to ultimately take over for you?
No.
Okay.
No, I really didn't. When they drafted him in the first round, that's usually a good sign that they're preparing for the end and the beginning, if you will.
How did you feel about it when it happened?
I was surprised it took that long, really, but I was proud of the fact that it took that long. Mm-hmm. I seen a lot of first-round picks come and go at different positions, but quarterback was not one of them. So I was proud of that. First-round pick comes up, they don't pick a quarterback. It wasn't like I was like, yes. I just didn't think twice about it. And that went on for a long time. Mm-hmm. So the one constant was I was going to be the quarterback, and everyone was okay with that. And that was a good feeling.
Skip, I don't think anybody should be surprised, at least you and I are not, because we always felt the way it was shaping up, Coach Belichick was grooming Jimmy Garoppolo to be the bridge from Tom Brady into the future moving forward.
Yep.
Now, you mean to tell me a man in Coach Belichick, I believe he's the greatest, I understand about Deflategate and Spygate, but I believe he's the greatest coach to ever coach in the NFL. He's the greatest situational coach in NFL history. So you mean to tell me a man that prepares his team for every possible scenario is willing not only to trade one, but two quarterbacks? And you're like, okay, the bridge for the future now is Brian Hoyer, a guy that's been cut by 7 different teams. He's going to be the bridge from Tom Brady into the future. You know Coach Belichick wouldn't do that, Skip. Coach Belichick believed in Jimmy Garoppolo. He saw exactly in Jimmy Garoppolo what he saw in Tom Brady, and he was unwilling. If you notice, Skip, Tom Brady says, I want to play into my mid-40s, maybe late 40s. Robert Kraft said on several times Tom Brady has told him he wanted to play into his mid to late 40s. The one guy that never echoed that sentiment is who, Skip Bayless?
Coach.
Bill Belichick said, we'll see. There's a reason why coaches don't get close to players. There are 2 things, Skip, in professions. 3 things. A head coach, a trauma surgeon, or a police officer. You can't be emotional because you're going to see in trauma, you're going to see stuff that if you get emotional, that's going to hinder you from doing your job.
That's correct.
If you're a police officer, you're going to you're going to encounter things that if you're emotional, that's going to hinder you from doing your job. Exactly as a head coach. If you become too attached to the players, it's going to hinder you from doing your job. This is a cutthroat business. You're going to sometimes have to cut all-time great players. Coach Belichick understands that very, very well. Now, he traded Jacoby Brissett first. So you mean to tell me, Skip Bayless, the team that turned you into the NFL, you're going to do a deal with them? Skip, I can't do no deal with you. And then a receiver. Philip Dorsett, by all indications, by every metric or analytics you want to use, has been a bust. What team you know trades a quarterback for a busted wide receiver? And then here we come to Jimmy Garoppolo. If you notice what Tom Brady said last week when they broached him the question, he said, Jimmy worked really, really hard in practice, and it's nice to see hard work pay off. Not one time did he say anything about his relationship, how he helped Jimmy, because this is what we know, Skip, and I've always told people this, and they look at me side-eyed. Quarterbacks have the biggest egos. They are the most sensitive of any player in the NFL. They do the best job of hiding it. Jimmy Garoppolo was a direct threat to Tom Brady, as was Steve Young to Joe Montana, as was Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre.
No doubt.
Now, so, Skip, no one should be surprised by this. I believe Coach Belichick, win, lose, or draw, was ready to move on after this season without Tom Brady. This has been brewing for a while, Skip. This has been brewing for a while. Coach Belichick had no problem moving on from Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer, Rohan Davey, and every other quarterback that they've taken since Tom Brady's been there. This is the one guy he was clutching, and his knuckles were white because he didn't want to let him go.
Here's all you need to know. The basis of this story is true. Bill Belichick spent 3.5 years developing Jimmy Garoppolo, a quarterback that he told multiple people was his Aaron Rodgers, Steve Young, and Andrew Luck, the next star replacing a legend, and they gave him away. I don't care about anything else. They gave him away. Bill Belichick gave 2 quarterbacks away that he had combined to give 5 years of his time. That is very un-Belichickian, and he did it with a 40-year-old quarterback. And if you know Bill Belichick's history, it's I get rid of everybody a year early than a year late. So you can tell me that Kraft loves Belichick and Belichick loves Kraft and Brady loves both. They gave Garoppolo away.
So I'm hoping you enjoyed the video. My name's Lou. This is Sports Trades. If you could like, comment, subscribe, and share your opinions. Maybe I'm dead wrong. I don't know. I'll see you guys next time.